Here we are with another talk. Also to me absolutely fundamental, because on this depends how you can use your voice into a performance and how you will find your voice and what you will be able to sing and with which kind of voice. I said that it is not a great idea to always train in relaxation. I feel that relaxation can be very useful as many other things and many other tools for us the teachers and for us the trainers to find some kind of things, to find and to correct some kind of attitudes and some bad responses of the instrument. I'm not of the school that thinks that singing all the time relaxing is a good idea, and for a very, very simple reason. The music is not relaxed. There is some relaxed music, but we have to understand if we want a relaxing effect from the music or inside the music and the phrase and all the characteristics of the music we are going to perform are really from a relaxing thing of this kind of not or not. Music usually has not just one rhythm, just one energy. It is a changing of that all the time, and the sound must be accorded to that. Of course, according to the styles, there will be music with more energy and more strength than others, and for the voice we must be very careful not to ask too much. But asking too much does mean that we can't produce that kind of characteristics into the voice. It depends how you feel the voice and how you think the voice. If you think that the voice is just a system of vocal folds and a bit of vocal tract with some air under, probably you think that. And probably you think that there is some who is lucky and they don't strain their voices doing things that you can't even not imagine to do with the voice. But if you think in a more rational and complex way, you start thinking that the voice is exactly as the athletes. That the athletes to compete or to play, they don't work just on what they are going to do. They have a way of working out, and this is something that the physical science now know quite well, and they developed a lot. And it's quite interesting that because it is the same way of thinking that I have about the voice, that we can train some parts of the instrument that also that we are not going to use directly as a really huge thing while singing, and this will shape our voice. Because the voice is basically done by many more parts than what usually we think. And we can not only sing in a different way, we can train to have a different voice. Also, if you think about a working out, we have to produce a work. If we are really always relaxed while singing and while training, we will be able to produce a certain kind of work and not another kind. And at the same time, we will take away a fundamental characteristic that is we take away the strength, we take away the power, we take away the capacity of producing a great deal of energy, the capacity of react to a great deal of energy that comes from the orchestra, from the band, from everything that happens on stage. And this needs and requires strength. Which kind of strength? This is the question. Which kind of training to have this strength? This is the question. Relaxation is nice. Relaxation is good. You can also relax and do some things relaxed. But to relax, you have to have an opposite, and the opposite is the strength. So, how do we work the strength to get opposite to the relaxation? Even if we want to have a very relaxed music produced by our singing. And on the other side, how to train a not relaxed voice without being hysterical and without straining. This is quite basic. I will not tell you now how, because you will find it in my exercises. For example, doing different rhythmical things. For example, working a little more on some muscles, also with the voice, and knowing that we are just training those muscles. So sometimes you will hear in the live streaming with my students, or in the exercises that we propose you, really bad sounds, not training for the vocal cords, but not nice, not aesthetically nice. And they will be really unbalanced from the sound hearing, because it's not that the purpose of what we are doing and why I propose those. The purpose is to train some kind of muscles so that we will have them, or just internally as posture, because we gave them some tone. And so we will find them with that tone into our voice. And so we will have another voice just to start with. Or because we want to have a reactivity of those muscles and we want to train some kind of reactivity, that it will be used also as one of the tools and one of the characteristics of the voice. The voice is a complex system. Not because we have two vocal cords, we must think that it's just done by the two vocal cords. The two vocal cords, they just have to, they do part of the work. A lot of other parts of the body does another kind of work. This is what I wanted to tell in this talk. It is that it is a really complex system. Complex doesn't mean that we can't understand and we can't control how to change it. We can perfectly, and the knowledge is fantastic because we go on knowing more. I learned the Italian bel canto technique. I learned other things in other courses that I did. I learned also popular voice with Giovanna Marini. But then I developed the cossumethod because it's just a step forwards in the knowledge. But it's not that it comes at the place of the before. It's going to be to refine the knowledge as before and to adapt to today. But the knowledge of before will be that, and we sum up those things. So it's not in the purpose of the voice to take away the complexity. We can train sometimes without too much complexity because it can be useful. But then at the end we have to think about this instrument as something very complex and very elastic and very able to have different adaptations without straining and without danger. Have a nice Friday.